Grand evening, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 29th, 2026, and it is 20 hours and 25 minutes Central Daylight Time here in the United States, Texas more specifically. So, tonight it is the 100th YouTube live stream, and it is a special and historic day. This channel has been doing better than it ever has, especially the last few live streams. These have all been initially live streams that are posted to my YouTube channel and here on X and the dedicated Facebook page. I have links in the description of this initially live stream that will be posted to those places. So we'll start with the news. As always, right here is where we're going to start. This will not be 40 minutes this time. It will be not very long. So, China has unveiled a robotic dog capable of quickly traversing through any terrain. That's from Bricks News and looks like a Unitree, whatever company that is. So China developed this robotic dog that can traverse through any terrain. Here's a video of it. So I said, as I reposted this, they have these with at least light machine guns on them. I've seen video of that with a light machine gun on these robotic dogs. These robotic dog type machines. And they could also, I would think, theoretically put a bunch of C4 on these, maybe a heavy machine gun or even a specially made rocket launcher. They can put a lot of attachments on these robotic dogs that will make them far more lethal, and they could have special purposes on the battlefield. And then we have this here was reported, I'm sure, I think it was even on the mainstream media. A U.S. official has announced, recently more accurately, though it says here, U.S. official announces Iran launched ballistic missiles toward a U.S. base in Jordan. So they've launched ballistic missiles towards a U.S. base in Jordan. There were, I think, no casualties reported. And it was also said that all of those ballistic missiles were intercepted by the air defense system over there. So President Trump found out right around that same time, shortly after, and he is very angry. And he said, and I quote, I'm going to beat the effing shit out of Iran. Um, yeah, that's really trending now. That's what President Trump said. It was something along those lines. He said he really is very angry. He says he's going to do something like that to Iran. That I know. So Iran is going to get very bombed, and we are going to get into that news shortly as well. That is reported moments ago, not long ago. Heavy bombing has started on Iran. And as you can see there, the next thing said um, the U.S. announced that all of those ballistic missiles were successfully intercepted. And shortly after that, there was some kind of retaliation. The U.S. and Saudi Arabia, they did retaliate after the strikes on the U.S. base in Jordan right around that time. So no more one-sided ceasefire. And I said, hopefully President Trump now realizes those don't work that way. President Trump, he just did a ceasefire. He stopped attacking Iran for a day or two, and then that happened. Iran struck that U.S. base in Jordan. And then in other news here, I try not to mix this much, though I saw it this way. Researchers warned that 6G could detect people through walls, monitor breathing and heartbeats, potentially and potentially enable mass surveillance even without a phone. So the signal will be so strong that they could do that even when people don't have a phone. So if they are in range of 6G, if people are in range of 6G, they can be tracked in all of those ways, down to the breathing and heartbeats. And then on top of that, and related to it, the Department of War declares America's next manifest destiny is building an AI first military. So much like Terminator and Skynet, that type of thing. Very dystopian news, those two things we just talked about there. Um, very dystopian, very disturbing. That is not good at all as for how much of a surveillance state this country has become. And then, as I was saying, President Trump has indeed started doing what he said he was going to do. This here from Douglas McGregor. The U.S. is now conducting large-scale strikes on Iran. So several cities I saw, several locations are being hit within the last hour by the U.S. So all U.S. strikes have resumed. There is no ceasefire. There is no peace deal in sight. Whoever is saying that is lying and delusional. That is not an opinion. That is not happening. Iran has no intention of a peace deal or a ceasefire at this time. It does not serve them at this time to do that. So it is back to total war. The war doesn't stop either. When there's a ceasefire, the war continues. A ceasefire is simply exactly what it is, a ceasefire, not a peace deal. Some people confuse that. Oh, they think the war is over because there's a ceasefire. No, and it was very one-sided this time. It's not a. It didn't end the war. It's just President Trump and the military were holding their fire for a day or two. That's all it was. And the real reason has come out is that we've been running out of Patriot missile systems. The air defense in the region is running out. And potentially other munitions as well are running out in that region on that Middle Eastern front. And then this city here, this is one city, Abadan City in Iran. This is a video of it on fire after heavy U.S. strikes. This is also from, as you can see there, 45 minutes ago about reported. So this happened within the last, in recent hours, at least. So within the last hour or two is very likely when this video happened. It's a short video, so I ran it twice. Thankfully, they're not even saying anything. It is distracting and not usually a good thing when they're screaming or saying a lot of things. So the war is absolutely continuing. It did not end. There is no ceasefire happening now. There is no peace deal in sight. The price of oil is absolutely skyrocketing. Still, it is over $100 a barrel. The price of gold is over $4,000 an ounce, and it is rising vertically. I didn't check silver. I would think it's probably doing the same thing. So everything is going vertical. The escalation, the price of oil, and the price of those precious metals. Escalation isn't even the right term now. Intensification is the right term. Escalation is escalating towards something. The only accurate thing to do with escalation right now is that things are escalating towards the nuclear phase of this war. That is the most accurate thing about that. I think I have some further news here. We have a E3 Sentry. Yes, that I saw. There's an E3 Sentry flying or it was flying the last hour or so ago, over Saudi Arabia. There's only about 20 of those built in the U.S. Air Force. That's a very advanced plane. One of them was destroyed. One or two of them were destroyed in this war uh, on the Middle Eastern front. It's not the Iran war, it's World War III. One or two of those E-3 Sentries were destroyed in this war on the Middle Eastern front. We've had nuclear forces on very, very high alert. It's been very spread out though recently. It's been strange on the frequencies. I've mentioned in the past the HF frequencies 8992 and 11175. Before I continue, I gotta check my 1 second. Check my audio. Audio. Okay. Mm. Oh, the Houthis. Let's not forget about that. The Houthis attacked a very large oil refinery in Saudi Arabia. So that is also going to send the price of oil absolutely vertical and skyrocketing in that same direction. So that happened. The Houthis are not, they're not Iran. They're just a proxy of Iran. They're not, they are their own group in Yemen. And they've been doing very heavy, very serious strikes on different locations there in the Middle East. Oh, that's what I saw earlier too. Iran has said they will fight until their last breath earlier. I think that was from the Iranian army chief. I would have to find that. There's been a lot of news since then. There's a lot of news to do with Iran that comes out throughout the day. Let's see the more recent here. Oh yeah, that is one of the more recent. That was this afternoon. Um, Earlier this afternoon, in the early afternoon, the Iranian army chief said that armed forces will defend Iran's soil and independence against aggressors to their last breath. That's what the Iranian army chief said. The commander of the Islamic Republic of Iran's army, Major General Amir Hatami. Let's see. He congratulated and offered. I think this is from the it's from the an Iranian news agency, the IRNA, I think. Um, so that Major General has congratulated and offered condolences on the martyrdom of uh, Brigadier General Majid Kazemi, the heroic pilot of the Sukhoi 24 and emphasize that the Army is true to its promise to the nation and will defend the sacred Islamic system and the pure soil of Iran and its independence against aggressors to its last breath. Let's see here. So that means that Brigadier General who died was flying a Sukhoi 24. It's a type of fighter jet, I believe. It's an old one. It's an old fighter jet, if it's that, or if it's not a fighter jet, it's a helicopter, but I think that's a fighter jet. A very old one, an old fighter jet, and and he was in the Iranian Air Force. A lot of they're trying to make him a martyr because of what happened with that. Oh, earlier, some of the most recent news is that there was some kind of LNG storage tanker that was attacked in Egypt at the Damietta port. It was hit by a drone earlier today. The president has confirmed he was briefed on the incident. Yeah, that's been big news. Uh, that's some of the latest breaking news there about that oil tanker that got hit in Egypt at the Damietta port. Is that right? Yep, the Damietta port. An LNG storage tanker was hit by a drone. Now, I don't know if Egypt did that. I highly doubt it. I think Iran likely sent a Shahed drone and hit that LNG tanker. So that's all of the news I will be doing for now. Tonight is really historic, both for this channel and what is going on out there with the war. It is a great thing to see. The channel is doing very well, and I will continue to do this while I can. This is not my main job. Uh, I enjoy it. I will continue to do it all of every time that I can on the days that I do this. I especially come on during the largest, I would say the highest states of emergency is when I especially come on here. Those times, and I always try to come on the scheduled times. Uh, Monday around 8 in the evening, Central Daylight Time or Central Time. Uh, Same thing Wednesday as it's happening now, right around the same time, and Friday, all around the same time. That's 8 p.m. Central Time or Central Daylight Time, depending on the time of year. So it is a great thing that the channel is doing very well. I always recommend liking these videos, commenting, and subscribing on YouTube, and then liking the posts on the other places, like here on X and on the dedicated Facebook page. Once again, those links are in the description. As always, keep on preparing. overall, especially as we get closer and accurately escalate towards the nuclear phase, the potential nuclear phase in this war, this World War III. I always recommend physical assets, gold, silver, land, ammunition, high, medium, and low tech solutions, even uh, stocking up on fuel. That the time is running out fast for that one. If you could do that, stocking up on fuel is a good idea. It has to be done safely and properly. And this is all not financial advice. These are simply recommendations. Uh, Regular gasoline can be stocked up on in cans properly and safely. Diesel can be stored even easier. Diesel is not as flammable. As for storable foods, I recommend, storable foods, freeze-dried foods, cans. Those are the best of them, cans and freeze-dried foods. They last a very long time. Freeze-dried foods can last up to, I think, 25 years. And if you store storable foods a certain way, it could last that long or longer. Some can last a lifetime or more if stored properly. All physical assets can last a lifetime if well maintained and stored properly. That's one of the best things to do in preparedness, stocking up and proper storage of all of those things. So we'll see when 6G comes out. That's going to be very dystopian. Um, we will see how this war continues to escalate towards the nuclear phase, and we will see how this war continues to intensify. It is not ending anytime soon. It is intensifying to the point where the world has never seen it before, not in modern times. It will intensify beyond the point of the Second World War. And the Second World War will look almost small in comparison when it comes to casualties. Potentially, that could happen. Things are very precise now, though, especially if we use nuclear weapons a lot, not just the US, though other countries, that is what will get that's what would get the casualties easily higher than that of World War II. Uh, in World War II, a very high percentage of the Russian population was wiped out just from casualties from the war. So keep on preparing as always, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and also, as always, on here. I will be back very soon. I expect Friday evening around the same time. And as I always do on these live streams, love, light, and blessings to you all.